Hi, I'm Jesse Hilbert.
Hi, I'm Charlie Hubbard.
And welcome
to Arthropod
Adventures. This is Season
2, Episode 11.
The Ear Pincher. Pinch, pinch, pinch. So Charlie, today's arthropod can be found in a variety of places, from the forest floor to possibly even inside your house. And you'll especially want to watch out for the back end, as you wouldn't want to get pinched. Can you guess what it is?
Can you guess what it is?
Today's episode brings us to the world of the
earwig.
The European earwig, to be exact. As its name suggests, the insect is not native to the United States, but comes from Europe. Hence the name, European earwig. Yep.
Can you?
They already guessed what it was. Now, it is also native to Western Asia and Northern Africa, and has since been introduced to Australia, New Zealand, as well as here in North America. I actually found some contradicting, that's a long word. Can you try that one? Yeah, it's about as good as I did. Contradicting reports about when the first sighting of the European earwig was. One article said Seattle, Washington in 1907, and another one said Rhode Island in 1901. Both of them pretty far away, right?
Yeah.
The scientific name for the European earwig is Forficula auricularia. You try that one. Forficula. Good, and we probably say this wrong all the time, but that's okay. Auricularia. Good, you can speak up too.
Auricularia.
There you go. Now, the first part of its name, Forficula, comes from the Latin word. Comes from the Latin word for small scissors, Charlie.
That's hard word to say.
Those are Latin and Greek words are hard to say for sure if you don't speak that language. Now, that comes from Latin for small scissors, which makes sense, Charlie.
If you just speak that language.
Yeah. Now, Charlie, the back end has these little pinchers on it.
Yeah, they go pinch.
Yeah,
pinch.
and they do kind of look like scissors, so that name makes sense. And its species name is also Latin and means... No, you always say that. No, not the Arctic bombus, or the Bombus polaris, rather. That's the Arctic bumblebee. Now, the second part of its name, the auricularia, means ear-shaped in Latin. And this concept comes from when the pinchers at its back end are open. People think that it kind of looks like an ear. When I was little, Charlie, when I was your age, I thought earwigs crawled in your ear and lived there.
And then, what if an ear went in your other ear?
But wouldn't be good. But they don't do that.
What if an other ear went into your giant ear?
I don't know, that'd be crazy.
Yeah.
Now, Charlie.
What if you have ear on your head and your belly?
You're funny. This creature is very recognizable and one that I think almost all of us can identify without seeing a picture of. Although I am certain that it's an insect that many people mistakenly call a bug, this does not fall under...
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Why are you calling that a bug?
I know, Charlie. We are very particular here at Arthropod Adventures about what gets called a bug. I'm just letting people know at home that this is not a bug. It does not fall under the order Hemiptera.
And some people call them arthropods.
Yes. But
most people that call arthropods is us.
Yes, we do call things arthropods.
How
But these are not bugs. They are just normal insects.
How did we learn about arthropods?
Doing our podcast, of course, and finding things in nature.
And like shaped like arthropods.
Yeah. Now, Charlie, they are brownish or reddish in color, reaching about an inch in length when fully grown.
An inch of a turtle.
No, turtles are much bigger. Like the other insects we've talked about on this podcast, the earwig has a head, thorax, and abdomen. And coming out of their thorax, they have... How many fingers am I holding up, Char? Count them. One,
two, 3, 4, 5, 6.
They have 6 legs. Because, well, They're insects. And the legs are yellowish brown legs. And I was most interested to learn that also coming from their thorax are their wings. Until my research, I had no idea that earwigs had wings. And I'm willing to bet that maybe some of you also didn't know that. They are, however, not the world's best flyers, Charlie, and are most often found scampering along the floor. At the end of their abdomen, they have those iconic cercis. You say cercis?
Surface under the surface.
Under the surface. I'm getting nervous, right? Yeah. And these would be the pincer-like appendages that we all know.
Under the surface.
I don't think everyone wants to hear Encanto right now, but maybe they do. Now, this serves several purposes, Charlie, and looks different based on whether the earwig is a male or a female.
Can you send this to Becky?
Becky listens to it every week. We thank all of our listeners for listening every week.
No, we're going to put Encanto on.
Okay. And Charlie, the males have a bigger and a larger curve to them, and the females possess a much smaller pincer and with a little to no curve. They're just kind of straight back. And they are used in a variety of ways, from protection from predators to capturing of food. They also aid in mating, Charlie. Mating?
Mating.
That's where they make babies.
Mating.
We'll get to that soon.
Meeting or mating?
Mating.
Yeah. And meeting.
Not meeting, mating.
Yeah. Those
They're
are both so kind of together, but meeting.
Kind of.
Batting.
Now,
Batting.
Their heads contain their antennae, which contain chemoreceptors, which help them sense prey and predators. Their antenna also has sensory hairs that aid in their ability to sense what's around them.
Sensory hairs.
Yes. They have chewing mouth parts, and believe it or not, they are omnivores, feeding on dead plants and animals.
Chewing mouth and banana rebound.
Yeah. And Charlie, I did not know this either. This earwig is usually nocturnal, meaning it prefers to come out at night to find prey and to avoid predators. Nocturnal means come out at night.
Some animals sleep in the day and some wake up one sleep at day.
Yeah. Now, Charlie, if you wanted to go out and find one, your best bet would be to roll over a log or lift up a rock. They prefer...
I lift up a log and a rock.
Cool.
And there's arthropods, and there's worms and some beetles.
Worms are annelids. Now, Charlie, they prefer moist...
You don't do podcasts about worms.
We could one day do a special one about worms. That would be cool. Now, they prefer moist conditions found there. That's why you would find them there. This is also an insect that can be found in your house. If you have happened to find any, they were probably in a moist or damp area such as your basement. The males and females typically mate around September. The forceps, or the pincer-like appendages found at the end of their abdomen, play a role in the species' mating ritual. The male will use them to get the attention of the female. If the female accepts the ritual, then the male will attach himself to the female for copulation. You say copulation?
Copulation.
Yeah, that's just another word for mating or making babies. An interesting fact to note about the mating is that the female will go about her daily routines with the male attached to her. It's also possible for other males to come along and force the mating male off of the female and then take his place. Since this mating happens so close to winter and colder weather, after they have mated, the females typically go underground to get away from the cold. It is here that she will lay her eggs and wait out the winter.
What does the wait out the winter
That means that, remember, do arthropods like cold?
Some,
but not a lot. And she will lay her eggs.
Her eggs,
yep. And the female earwig does not show maternal instincts. Some birds lay eggs. And
some birds are just birds, and some birds are dinosaurs.
Oh, yeah, birds are dinosaurs. That's true. I love telling people that.
All of them or some?
Oh, they all were descendants of dinosaurs.
I said
that I know of. I could be wrong. Yeah, maybe not. So, Charlie, she will not take care of her eggs.
A lot of birds are dinosaurs.
You're funny. So she will not take care of her eggs.
Why is she not going to?
Oh no, I take that back. Ooh, I'm not reading my show notes right. The female earwig, talking about you, think about dinosaurs. She does watch over her clutch of eggs, which can reach up to about 60.
Why did you say she's not going to watch her eggs?
All right, because I was reading it wrong. And according to an article by Dr. Gail Ridge, the female will...
Who's Dr. Gail Ridge?
She was from one of our articles. People can find in the show notes. The female will groom.
Stop learning.
Yeah, no, we're not there yet. The female will groom and flip the eggs just like a hen or a chicken. I do have to appreciate the care and attentiveness of the female earwig. She will continue to watch over the eggs until after they have hatched, feeding them regularly while they're in their larval stage. Now, I made a mistake again. They're actually not a larva per se. They go into a nymph stage, and this is different.
Alrighty, but other animals go larva, pupa, adult.
Yes.
Egg, larva, pupa, adult.
Yeah. So Charlie, during this stage of their life, they will go through 4 different stages, where they will get larger after each molt, but they will not change much physically. They will kind of look like mini adults until they're all the way as adults, and they will get their wings. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
And once they've grown enough, they will come out of the ground and venture into the world. The female will then potentially have a second brood of eggs, but this does not always occur. They do not pose much of a threat to us, although if agitated, they can give you a little pinch with their back end. This is not known to cause serious harm, however. They can do damage to crops or your vegetable garden. They use the vegetation as shelter from predators. The European earwig is not all bad, however. It is known to predate on aphids and caterpillars. Kind of. They eat aphids and caterpillars, Charlie, which is good because those things eat the plants that we love.
So we don't want the caterpillars dead.
We don't want caterpillars dead, but the aphids sometimes eat plants, and some caterpillars eat plants that we may not want.
And there's other caterpillars or things.
Yes, the sawfly larvae. They're kind of like caterpillars.
And some kind of fly mates them.
Yeah.
And we don't want them on. We
don't like them on hibiscus. Yeah, they're eating it.
And Mama loves the hibiscus.
Mama does. So Charlie, the next time you come face to face with a European earwig, take a close look at those pincers at the back end of the abdomen, but make sure to observe from a little far away.
But they can hurt.
This is
when
definitely.
They pinch you, they hurt.
I don't think it would hurt a lot.
But it would just hurt.
Yeah. Now, Charlie, this is definitely an arthropod I would appreciate and just watch. What do we say to people for listening?
Thank you. Never.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you have an arthropod you would love to hear about, want to tell us what you think about the show, or found a mistake, send us an email at arthropodadventurespodcast@gmail.com. You can follow us on Instagram. Sure. Now, you can find us on Instagram at arthropod_adventures_podcast. So follow us. We post all kinds of pictures of arthropods and teach about them. It's cool. So tell your friends. Now, Charlie, what do we always say?
Thank you.
Thank you for listening. Stay inquisitive.
And never stop learning.
And Charlie, the random fact for today is that a giant cyclone has been spotted on the planet of Uranus. The cyclone was spotted...
I have Uranus. I have all the planets.
You do have all the planets as a mobile. And the cyclone was spotted on the North Pole using radio telescopes. This is the first evidence of a cyclone on Uranus. And there's a link to that article in our show notes. And it has nothing to do with arthropods, but it's always cool to learn science facts. Can we say thank you again?
Thank you.
Say see you next time.
See you next time.